Joining us this fine morning. My name is Mariam Bishar. You're listening to 96.3 Nation FM. This is where good music lives. Of course, the hashtag is Morning Fix. You can also tag me at Mariam Bishar and of course at Nation FM KE. Any questions, comments, requests, everything. It makes our playlist and we're more than happy to do it. But as promised, we have Dr. Rupesh Regmi, who is the CEO and founder of WiseAdmit Technologies in studio with us. Today we're talking about education and tech, that intersection, how we can benefit off of it, how we can make the most of it, and how we can be leaders, I guess, not always playing catch up when it comes to matters tech or education. But it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Rupesh. Karibu sana. Have they taught you Swahili?
Hi, Jambo, Kenya. Yes, a little bit of Swahili, definitely.
Yeah, at least the basics, yeah?
Yes.
It's good to have you in studio. Please give us a brief intro to Dr. Rupesh, who he is at work, also outside of work.
Maria, thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. Talking about my background, I would start with 2006 because that's when I had to decline 3 offers from the US and then I went to study in China.
Okay.
So that's how everything got started.
Okay.
My background...
Why did you decline the 3 offers and choose to study in China?
Thank you for asking me that question. You know, my mom is a teacher and my father was a nominal worker, right? So even if those offers were really good not to say no to, but I had to because my parents just couldn't afford. And I see that it's not just the case for me. A lot of students in Africa, in my country, they're going through the same.
Yes. It's so funny that you even mentioned that because literally less than an hour ago, we're discussing a new funding model for our universities and how it's making education out of reach for so many people. And I know we'll get into those conversations a bit later. But okay, 2006, you say no to the US, you're in China. What next?
Right. I went to China because it was affordable and I wanted to study aerospace engineering, right? So I got into the world's top 3 university for aerospace engineering.
Amazing.
And it took off. I learned the language. And I even went to Europe for a full scholarship, but I returned back to China because I wanted to ride the development wave in China. It was developing so rapidly. If I just stay there, you know, I could learn a lot from them, right? So I went there. Later, I got a job at the university, and that took me a lot of places. So I could talk to, I think over the span of 8 years, I talked to over 8,000 students and understood...
Okay.
Like what are they looking for? What is the future like for education, right? So, and then I was doing my PhD while I was working at the university. Luckily, my PhD supervisor was the director of the same office, right? So it saves me a lot of time. So in 2019, I went for a 1-year-long doctoral visit to Busan National University, Korea. There, I met my lab mate where she told me that, hey, Rupesh, you've already helped so many students to access affordable education. Why don't you leverage technology in order to scale it 100 times? You know, that got me thinking, my God, what am I doing PhD, right?
I have a bigger calling.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's bigger problem to solve.
Yeah.
So 2020, I came back to China and then... For a month-long holiday, I went back to Nepal and COVID happened, right? For 1.5 years, I was getting paid, but doing nothing. So I decided that, you know, I learned a lot from the East. So I went to Canada, Vancouver, and actually WiseAdmit got incubated there at the University of British Columbia. So you see the learning from East and West, right?
And then marrying them, yeah.
Exactly. So, and I strongly believe that we... Sub-Saharan Africans and South Asians should be curious about China and the West and to culminate whatever learnings we had and then come back and try to figure out the bigger problem here to solve.
I love that. First of all, your learnings are something we'll have to dive a bit deeper into in just a minute, but we have to get into the music. Extra Pressure, Ben Soul and BN, but no pressure, guys. Hashtag is Morning Fix. We'll be back.